to a good friend of the association, a good friend to the industry, and I think a former Boy Scout. Yeah. So I'm going to introduce you to Chuck Zerambo, and he's going to talk a little bit broad-based about what can be done. Here you are, Chuck. Give him a round of applause. So good afternoon. Actually, it's still morning, isn't it? I've been up for a few hours. I'm an early morning person, just like many scouts. You know, I grew up in the scouting arena, the scouting world, and I still live and breathe scouting. I'm an Eagle Scout, and by the way, that stays on my resume forever. How many Eagle Scouts do we have in the room? Stand up. I want to share with you a story. And this story is about where I came through as a young boy and sat one day at the dinner table with my parents. I was supposed to be the kid who came from the blue-collar family that, frankly, was going to be the last of the kids and the only kid to go to college. Well, I sat at the dinner table one day, and I said to my mom, "Mom, I know I'm signed up to go to East Stroudsburg University, but I've made a decision. I like cars. Cars are cool." So I was talking to this guy, and I wanted to become an auto mechanic. Talk about a mic drop, right? My mother had a tear running down the side of her face. And you know what's a shame is the reason that my mother had that tear running down the side of her face was simply because of the perception of what an auto mechanic is. And that's a shame, isn't it? Today, there's so many opportunities, and I made a promise to my mother sitting at that table. I said, "Mom, I'm not done. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to learn how to be one of the best technicians." I became an ASE certified technician. I then moved on through the ranks, worked my way, and yes, it was work. I became a service manager for two of the largest organizations. Anybody here of Team Toyota? I was a service director for Team Toyota. I was also a service manager for the Faulkner organization. So then I moved on to a corporate job at Snap-on, where I was a regional manager. And what that did for me is help me to tie in what I promised my mother I would do, and that is to make a difference in the automotive industry. I work with people like Kevin and Mary Lynn, and I literally flew all over the country talking about opportunities, how to make a difference, how to do things, how to make a better shop. And that kind of led me into what I'm doing today as an automotive industry advisor, as well as owning a training company. So what's that mean for you? Well, that means that you have lots of opportunities, just like I had lots of opportunities, to change what you're doing. Think about the automotive field, because oftentimes we think of salespeople, we think of, technicians, but there's a lot of other things that you could be doing in the automotive industry. For example, you have aftermarket, you have associated things, and you have the supply side. Oftentimes, people don't even think about how do these cars get supported, and what other things are there to do within the automotive industry. Just in the aftermarket, there's insurance. You have insurance agents, you have underwriters for those insurance companies, you have parts suppliers. Look at all the parts suppliers that make the parts that go into the cars on the showroom floor today. You have oil companies and fuel. You have race teams. How cool would it be to be on a race team, like a NASCAR race team, right? These are opportunities that are in the automotive industry. You have one of the areas that I started in was the tools and equipment. I worked for Snap-on Tools. But interestingly, I didn't just stay in the diagnostic side, I ended up in the software side of that business. Because the division that I worked for was the software side, supplying management and information systems to the industry. You have marketing. There's so many things that come in the mail. Just like when you go to the dentist, for example, you've got people that need to do follow-up mailers, people that need to promote the automotive business in general. How much money did you spend promoting this business, or this show itself, right?
Too much.
Too much money. But you can be in the automotive industry, have the knowledge of the automotive industry, and find other areas. You don't always have to get your hands dirty. You don't always have to sell cars. We also have government. There's people that are in government. There's lobbyists and all kinds of things. So if that's your thing, embrace that. Education. We talked about the $1 million a year that we give in scholarship. Well, there's somebody that needs to teach the students. You could be one of those people. You also have associations and trade groups. You know, I'm a member of the Greater Philadelphia Auto Dealers Association as an associate member, but there's also different organizations that you could be part of. These guys have jobs because of that industry. So think about that. Just don't think about cars and fixing cars and selling cars and financing cars. It goes way beyond that. And then you have the manufacturer's jobs. You know what I also think is very cool? When you get down on the showroom floor, there's going to be some pretty cool stuff. But what's really cutting edge today is the telematics. Cars are talking to a satellite that's talking to these guys and the car dealers, but somebody's got to be able to support that technology, even through cell phone vendors. And then we've got hybrid technology. I mean, Musk, the guy that actually is pretty creative, and he was the guy that started PayPal and all that kind of stuff, created a car company. Anybody know what the name of that car company is? Tesla, absolutely. And they're on the showroom floor. And then you have Google jumping in. And is Google a little company? You've got them creating new jobs and new opportunities. So, I'm going to close with one little thing. There's tons of opportunities, but I will tell you, embrace what you're doing in scouting. It got me to where I am today. And I will tell you that if you stick with scouting, whether you become an Eagle Scout, a Gold Award Girl Scout, whatever the case may be, you are going to get that interview. And you're going to be in the top percentage of the people that are selected. Guys, would you hire an Eagle Scout or a Gold Scout? Absolutely. So remember that you bring value to the table. And when you bring value to the table, we'll see you at the top. Thanks, guys.